All right.
So we'll let a few people show up before we can just show off show the setup. Show them how organized we are.
So this is what?
That is a centrifugal finisher. It's for polishing.
And what's this, the green?
That's corn cob. You can also get walnut shell.
Huh.
Yeah. This might be walnut shell. I don't think it's walnut. It's corn cob. It's not walnut shell.
Oh, it looks awfully green.
Yeah. It's impregnated with polishing compound.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what makes your stamping shiny.
Oh.
But it'll work. You can get a tumbler. Or anything will work. You don't need that.
And then there's the press.
Then there's the press. Anyone showing up yet?
4 people.
They might. Oh, cool. All right, guys. So I'm gonna show you how to be efficient, or at least, I mean, we're not even efficient, because we've had some people saying that we are. So I've gotten some messaging from people saying that we're going to destroy the world of stamping because we're selling stampings for $5. That's actually incredibly expensive for a stamping. I know most of the big companies would be jumping for joy to sell a stamping for $5. Believe me, when you start to buy in volume from those guys, they're literally pennies. The stampings come down to just, they'll literally do it for the price of the metal, and they get to keep the scrap. But so back to reality here. We're only making a handful. You know, making 20 of something is a lot different than making 1,000. So this method is totally inefficient. But if you were like to make a handful of something like what you guys will be doing, this is a great method. It's an amazing method for doing this, because there's not to set up one of these big hammers and all the trimming dies and trim tools. Well, that takes a lot of time, and if you're going to do that, you're going to want to make thousands of something. And that's what they do. They will literally run barrels of them and then sell them off over the next decade. But we're literally stamping to order. I mean, the amount we're selling, like if in an hour we can stamp about 20. And Caitlin's never run a stamping press in her life. And within a few hours, we've had her trained up, and she can produce $100 an hour worth of stampings. And they're all turning out really good. So I'll show you how we do it. So the first thing I do is we take strips of copper and we anneal it. So it's all been annealed. It's 20 gauge copper. So what I do, I'm using dies that we've never run before, simply because I don't want to compete with you guys, and I want to offer stuff that no one has access to, simply because, well, we got to do something with these dies. I mean, we have thousands of them, and obviously we can make hubs for all this stuff and sell dies, but I'm never going to get to all these pieces. There's 30,000. Not in a million years am I ever going to finish all these. So a lot of this stuff's neat. It hasn't been run in decades. So this is a really pretty flower. So we're going to do this one today. And we're doing it in 20 gauge, which is actually very thick. A lot of the stamping companies, they're running 24 or 26 gauge, and they're running brass. And the reason they're running brass is it stamps really well. It's very inexpensive. So let's get this set up. And I'll show you. You guys time me. Let's see how fast we can do this. And I'm not rushing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an idea of exactly how big a piece of metal I need. And let me just use my key to mark it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a bunch of these. And we're going to make like, I don't know, 10 of them or so. Let's make a few more. We'll make a bunch. So, getting yourself a shear, like a basic tabletop shear, huge. It's huge. You should definitely have this at the very least. So there we go. And since I don't have a stop, I'm just gonna, I mean, we're not even, if I had a guillotine shear, I had a guillotine shear and a stop, I could go so fast. But we're in no hurry. We're just gonna do this as if we were, well, we are doing it for fun. So here we go. I'm gonna cut up. Check it out. So there's one stack of them. And let's do the next stack. And it's not taking very long. So if you guys are timing me, see how we'll be able to tell from the video. But if you can make $50, $60 an hour at home in your shop using, I mean, these aren't high production tools that we make here. This is where our tools really shine, is in low production. Alright, so I casually walk over here. And we're going to see how this comes out without an aluminum force. So we're going to use a small piece of urethane. You don't want to start with a big giant piece because you only have 20 tons. You don't have enough tonnage to drive this entire stamping in one push. So I'm going to start with one. So take a look. Got pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit the outer edges. Set it over there. Now an electric press is a huge help.
Just keep the lights go down every time you...
Yeah, it's because I got it on an extension cord.
Oh.
And I have it set at, this thing is set at 10 tons right now. There's no reason to be at 20 tons. Alright. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
That looks pretty good, but there's a little bit I didn't get right there, so I'm going to hit that. So this is my first one.
Yeah, can you use other pieces of little urethane on it at the same time?
You can, but you don't have as much force. So that looks really nice.
Yeah,
So,
it does. It's a pretty... I don't know what the flower is, but it's
let's
pretty.
see, how long did that take? Let's go toss that in the pickle. Let's go turn on the pickle. So keep timing me. We're walking slowly.
Pickle, and we have a girl that works for us, and her name is Dylan, and her family calls her Dill. So she gets all kinds of pickle gifts.
So if you had a big crock pot full of pickle,
oh
man, you'd be just doing
You're
great.
putting in that little...
Yeah,
it barely
that's
fit.
what I've done them all in that.
Oh my god!
I haven't.
Barely
We haven't
fit.
even tried.
Yet.
Huh?
We haven't swapped yet because the big one's over in the other.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't even tried to get fast yet.
We can buy another crock pot.
I don't know. Times are tough. So here goes another one.
Okay, I'm gonna come
So
around.
you can see how long that took.
Sorry, everybody.
That probably took. If I could get $5 for that, that's amazing. Here we go.
Yes, it's 20 gauge.
Dead soft.
Misty says it's a poppy.
Yeah,
Is that what a poppy looks like?
it must be.
I don't know. I thought poppies would be more smooth all the way around the outside.
So I'm just kind of moving my urethane around. See, this is my second time doing it, so I got a little bit better handle on what I'm doing.
Wow, it looks pretty deep.
It's, yeah,
Just
but
from
I'm
the-
also being careful as to what dye I select. There are certain dyes that, yeah, this one even better. There's certain dyes
Yeah, that's nice.
that they're a nightmare. And I didn't pick those because I don't want to spend all day trying to pop out some woman's nose to get it correct. I mean, if we are doing that, we end up making an aluminum force. So here, go toss that one in. Let's do another. Let's see how many I can get done here.
I think one of these days it's worth doing the aluminum force thing again because I know there's been discussion about it.
I'll do one for this.
Okay.
I'll do one for this. Let me make 5 of these and let's see how long it takes. Someone's probably keeping time. So let's say I make $25. That's the goal.
Hi, Cheryl. I was thinking of you recently. I hope you did okay over the holidays. Okay, let's look at it again.
There's another one. Turned out really nice.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Oh, it looks like it needs more
A little bit in that corner. I keep forgetting that corner.
This is exciting content. Whoop, whoop.
So we got that corner. Looks beautiful. So, into the pickle. So we are going as inefficiently as humanly possible, and we are still going to be making a fantastic margin on this. So what I'm showing you guys is you can do this too. You don't have to sell that many. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who want stampings, and all of the dyes that we sell, very few of them sell more than 10. Majority sell 1 or 2, just a small amount. So the numbers, like you guys will see dyes that people post, and you've never seen it before. It's because we have 1 million dyes. And most of them, unless you bought a stick or the fairy, you know, there's a reason you probably can't sell a stick dye or a fairy dye. It's because everyone and their mother bought one. We sold tonnage of that stuff. But a majority of the stuff, it sells less than 5. I mean, just a handful. So you'd be the only person on the planet with 4 other people who have that dye. And believe me, you're not going to satisfy the world's demand for stampings. There's our first one.
Now they're saying it's probably a cosmos flower. I never heard of that, but I don't know a lot about.
I'm not a botanist.
Flowers. Yeah, not a botanist. This is a cool press.
Yeah, Steve did it for me. And there's our next one.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
Looks fantastic. How many have we done so far?
I think
This
that's
is a 4.
yeah.
So we're gonna do 5, and then we're gonna figure out how fast we did that. So that's $25. I've been talking. Obviously, if you don't have an electric press, it's a whole different ball game.
What is this?
Oh, he powder coated the bottom of the
Oh, geez.
thing,
It's
so
coming
it's
off.
coming
Oh.
off. So it's kind of a mess. But yeah. So there's another
Yeah.
one. So let's go. What was the time on that, honey? Was that like maybe?
I don't know.
Less than 5 minutes.
The video doesn't say, so I don't know. I guess we're going over to the pickle.
So.
And we've got another ornament to open from Lori Vaden. I haven't opened it yet. We said we would do it on camera, so we'll have to get it.
Well, let's empty out our pieces. That one is the top. Let's take a look. So.
Can anyone say how long that took? Does anyone know?
Didn't take long.
Portable stairs.
Let's keep timing though, because we're going to go to the next step where I trim off some of the edges. Just so it's easier for the customer and it's easier for us to run them through the finisher. So this is where, like, if you had the trim tools and everything, this would make life a whole lot easier. But you'd have to set up a machine to do it, which would take a lot of time. And if you're only making 50 or 20 or something, I wouldn't do it. Then we're going to run these through the finisher real quick. There we go. Let's take them over to the tumbler. And obviously, you don't need one like this. Come on, baby. What's the deal?
Maybe is it vacuum?
Oh, it's not on?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, it's on.
Linda Roberts said it's been 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. So...
Gotta figure out the power issue. Is it not plugged in?
Let me turn that off. Turn that on. There it goes. So, if we made $25 worth of product in 15 minutes, someone do the math. How much can we do in an hour? I don't know. It's like $100 an hour, I think. Somewhere in there. Well, yeah, about $100 an hour. That's pretty good. That's actually ridiculous.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
So how much can you put in? Can you like fill it with a ton of
Oh yeah, you
product,
could put like,
or is it?
I think I could put like 30 or 40 pieces in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but so I think $100 an hour is a very fair return considering the actual investment of your machines, like the cost of the machine, your time. I mean, a lot of businesses would love to make $100 an hour. And so, I mean, obviously they're not sold yet. So that's, that's a whole nother part of the problem is the marketing. But as far as creating the product, it's very simple. And $5 is, perhaps a little high. But, we're only making a handful. I'm not making 1,000 of them. We're going to make, I don't know, yesterday we made, 40?
Yeah.
We made about 40 pieces yesterday. And Caitlin's learning, and I'm actually learning a lot because I've never tried to produce quantities of any of this stuff before. In the past, we weren't set up this well. we were not set up this well to do it, so we stopped doing it. Someone asked about how we make the Christmas ornaments, so let me show you the difference on that and why those on that type of setup. And then we're going to make an aluminum porous. So, take a look. This is a, okay, let's stamp some. I think it's set up. So this is, what this is a hydraulic stamping press. And we have our dies, the male and female, the top and bottom dies mounted in the frame. They're bolted up into here. This press was never really designed for this, but I bought this because I didn't want any of those. That's what they're usually run in. It's called an OBI press, that little black press there.
Oh, the Baird?
But it's a much larger version. So these are scary. They're not even legal in America. I mean, unless you have a light curtain and everything, you can pick them up very inexpensively. But they're really dangerous machines. So we don't even run that. But I bought this so that we could stamp out these Christmas ornaments. Because the machine that these were run in would have been probably a 75-ton straight side press. Like with one of those OBIs, the big flywheel. It's not plugged in, but I'm going to start this. It's kind of loud. It's set to a height. Put it in.
Oh, that's a neat one.
Yeah. So we'll do another. Pretty cool. Really fast. We don't even have to anneal. This is a really fast machine. And this isn't even fast. I mean, this is still a person placing the stamping. The modern factories, they're running a feeder off of a coil, a big coil. It looks like a roll of tape, but it probably weighs 5,000 pounds, and it's all copper. And they auto feed this stuff, and it goes through there. And it not only does it stamp out the part, it punches out the part. So it drops a finished piece every time the press goes down. So you end up with a completely finished stamping. So this machine was $25,000. It's the cheapest. This thing is right out of China. It wasn't even designed for the American market. But it even says People's Republic of China.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. But you can't, there's none of this stuff. These aren't made here anymore. No one is making something like this in America. Because the production's not there. This is very old-fashioned. And the stuff that, well, the old ones are gone. They've been scrapped. So it's really hard to find some of these type of machines. This is this is a very old version. This will do the exact same thing as this, except it's run off of a pulley and everything, and it's a big screw. And this is from the early 1900s. Just as fast as this. Just as fast. But not nearly, this is safer. This, when you pull that lever, that thing's going. Where this one, if I let my foot off there, the press stops. So, a little safer. And we can put buttons on here. We're going to be putting a pair of, where it's two-handed buttons. Let's go show you the other press that's really fast. So this is what you're up against when you're competing with some of these companies. But where you have the advantage is small batches. Watch your head right here, hon.
Okay.
So, this is a German press. It's 400 tons. It's high speed. It's got all the safety features, the 2-button control, and it's just boom. Really quick, really hard, and really expensive, and really huge. This is how they made those stampings 100 years ago. It's in these hammers right here. So, again, very dangerous, but pretty quick, faster than a hydraulic press. The big problem is this. Let me show you. Come on over here. So an operator would stand here like this, and then imagine there's a die here, and there's a top die here. They would take the stamping, set it in here so their hand is in front of this hammer. Set it in there, boom, take it out. Put another one in, boom, boom. And it's got a sort of a safety lever. There's 2 handles. So you pull this one, then this one, and it trips it. I'm not putting anybody in front of this, except myself.
Yay.
I almost got hung on that thing. So, but that's how they used to. They still do that in Providence. There's still shops running those. So you got to be really careful if you end up with one of these machines. They're great. I love them. They're beautiful. They make great stampings. It's just you can lose hands. A lot of times they'd use a bamboo stick, like a chopstick, to instead of putting their hand in the press, they use a piece of wood to flick the stamping out, because sometimes the press just trips because it's ancient. And yeah. So it'd be 250 pounds falling on your hand. So that's when you guys don't think about competing with these companies. You're not. You're going to look for a market that only needs, like a person who needs 3, 4. Because the companies that are running the big equipment, they're not interested in making 3 or 4. They're not really even interested in selling you 3 or 4. They want to sell hundreds at a time. They have to. They have to sell hundreds. So let's take a look. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
These look great. But yeah, those companies, your strength is going to be in producing small batches. You can change out your tooling as quick as you can put another die up on the press. With all those other machines, like when someone tells me they want a different Christmas ornament, oh my God. It literally takes me an hour to change out the tooling, get it all aligned, and put it back in the press. It just sucks. Especially because I know they don't want 100, they want 1. That's where this kind of setup is amazing. So you always lean into your strengths. If you're going to be producing stuff, you want to lean into your strengths, and your strengths are going to be in versatility. That's going to be it. You can set up in 2 seconds. Now you're stamping that. Everybody else that's doing this, they're going to be setting up a machine like this and creating a force. Let's make a force. So now that I've explained a bunch of that, so this is going to be a tough force for us to create because it's so big. So I'm going to make a small one. The concept is the same. We don't even sell dies this big. Not usually. Let's do this one right here. This is one we're going to make. It's got little flowers on it. It's very pretty. So let's make a stamp. Let's make a force. Let me get a piece of aluminum.
I think there was some over there.
Yeah, there's some small pieces that I kind of want a bigger piece.
Well, you can go into the shipping area.
I could do that. Let me
Yeah.
go get a bigger piece of aluminum. Entertaining.
These are the small pieces. Oh, he could do it. Oh, I guess I'm looking at this other one that's a flower. What was the one he just had? Oh, this one I want to look at close up. I chose this one yesterday just because I think it looks like a neat shape. So I don't know if it's one flower or flowers on each end, but
All right.
that's what we're going to do. So he'll probably get a medium or a large.
Here's our piece of aluminum. It's 6061 round bar. You don't have to buy it from me. You're just paying to have it cut and shipped. That's what you're paying for. So let me show you how. See how it's shiny right now? Shiny?
Yep.
We're gonna go heat it up, and let me get my press set up. So I want to have my press set up ahead of time so that I can slide it under there and squeeze it. So here we go. Let me get a pair of pliers. Get everything kind of prepared ahead of time. I like to use, I'm going to use the same torch you guys would use. So I'm just using a little tiny tip. Light it up. So watch, the reason I showed you guys the shiny top surface, I'm going to show you how it changes colors when you reach the right temperature. It's going to go to a dull gray, not a shiny white. So it's still shiny. I'm going to kick up the flame as much as I can. Doesn't take a whole lot of heat to anneal a piece of aluminum. We're going to strike it while it's fully hot. And that's where you'll get all the detail. If you have a bigger torch, you should use it.
This looks like it's going to take forever just because it's so tiny. The flame.
Yeah.
But I guess it's good to show what people might have.
Mm-hmm. So it's gonna, this whole top is gonna turn like a whitish gray. It's still shiny.
Kelly Patterson said that explains why the aluminum door to my kiln has a matte finish.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You'll watch it change when it happens.
Now, do you have to heat around the outer edges or anything?
It helps. It's pretty hot right now. Aluminum is an amazing heat sink. Oh, it's done. I actually melted it.
Oh.
We got it way hot.
So much
We went above and beyond.
So much for looking for the matte finish.
Yeah, see,
So you're going to turn it upside down onto the hot part that you got hot. I can smell it. Whoa!
Yeah. Way.
Oh my gosh.
See, I got it way too hot.
It's so crumbly.
Yeah. So that was
Oh.
crazy hot.
Jeez.
Sorry, honey. It's still flexible. So there it is. So even if you know, I way overheated that. And it did not take long, as you could see. Let's quench it. It's still a fine. It's fine. There we go. It just looks terrible. But it's going to work just fine. So let's do a stamping with it.
Cool.
Yeah, so now you know. Now you know.
The more you know.
Alright. So, here's something you're going to have to do. You can't do the. I know a lot of you are thinking, I'm just going to do that. No, you're not. No, you're not. You got to use your urethane. You got to have something for this to register into. Okay, let's take a look.
That looks pretty darn good already.
Looks pretty good, but down here it's a little soft. This is, let me set that in there. Get it registered again. It's good. I'm going to set our aluminum. You're going to move it around a little bit till it finds its seat. Okay? The more you strike your aluminum, the better it's going to get. So now, that's really good. Let me clean it.
I try to do a close-up and then you just whisk it away. You're always moving.
So,
oh, that looks great.
Yeah, it's really nice. And you can see we even cut through at the very top. But we got all the detail in, 2 pressings. Let's do it again. So this is 20 gauge material, which is plenty thick.
And it's annealed.
And it's annealed. Haven't even pickled it.
Neil's a great guy.
So I'm just going to do one, so you can see I didn't get all of it.
Yep.
And we're just going to see what kind of corners we can cut.
Is it not enough to register yet?
Yeah, probably not.
It's not deep enough, you think?
Yeah, I didn't get that corner. I need to get that other corner so it'll register. I was trying to cut corners. Perfect.
Yep, another perfect piece.
So you can see, this doesn't take long to do, really. Let's take a look at our stampings. They're beautiful. They look great.
Yep,
Yep.
they do.
So, if you guys want to buy some stampings from us, or you want to start selling your own stampings to the world, this is kind of a way to do it. Doesn't take, the amount of investment is minimal if you're going to start a business. This is a pretty low barrier to entry. If you were to, let's say you develop a market and you produce 20 stampings a day, that's $100 a day, $3,000 a month. Man, that's not bad, yeah, that's a reasonable amount of money for, and if you could only produce 20 stampings a day, I mean, that's only working like maybe an hour, maybe 2 a day, and then doing some marketing and posting on the internet. Yeah, you do pretty well. The biggest thing is just making sure you have good, complete stampings that don't look soft, that look really good. If you were to start using silver, you could make a lot more money. We're going to start using silver because a lot of people want silver.
Next week.
Yeah, next week. So but I'm going to be rolling out my silver. Do not think for a second you're going to buy silver sheet, stamp it, and sell the scrap and actually make any money. You're going to lose your butt. You have to roll it out yourself. So you should definitely, copper is inexpensive. basically what they're paying you for is your labor. When you move over to silver, you're talking $25 an ounce, you know. And for finished sheet, yeah, you're probably talking $30 an ounce, unless you're buying large quantities, like 100 ounce or more amounts. Yeah, roll it yourself. Then you can melt all your scrap down and roll it and stamp it again, over and over and over. A lot of these stampings by these manufacturers were done in fine silver. They were not done in sterling, despite what a lot of people believe. I've got a lot of the original stampings, and they're fine silver. And they were very thin. Let me look at this. This is an antique stamping. This thing is fine silver. This was done, I mean, this thing is like 26 gauge, and it's not even tarnished, really. I mean, it's got some tarnish, but this is old, and it's like 26 gauge. So let's weigh it. It weighs nothing.
So these are other stampings that have been done that we have sitting here, and we're gonna
10 grams.
count and then put them on the website. They'll be up on Friday. So there's not tons of each design. This one, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Of this design.
Yeah, we made 40 of them. So this thing came in at 10 grams. So if you were to do this at $1 a gram, like your cost on this would be $10. Your real cost would be less, obviously, if you're buying. But this is fine silver. This isn't sterling, and it's tumble finished. Looks good. It's good. It's 10 grams. 9.9 grams. So your cost, I mean, and I wouldn't run this thin. I think it's kind of nuts, really. But that's what a lot of this stuff was run in. Was very thin material. Even your hand mirrors, they were all, 24, 26 gauge, or thinner. Like
Yeah.
if you've ever, this stuff's very light.
They dent, yeah. It's light and dent very easily. We need to open the ornament from Lori
Oh, okay. Let's open it up.
Vaden. Hi, Annie.
Hi.
Okay.
Put it up on the tree.
Yeah, we still have the tree up. Here are the boxes there.
Oh, sweet.
Literally sweet. M&M's? Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
That's a perfect packing material.
Mm-hmm. Let me read. To the folks at Potter USA.
I think she's made her cards before.
Yeah.
They've been printed. Oh. The ruler comes in handy for everything.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the Kevin bobblehead in the background.
Ah. Alright. My letter opening skills are not what they used to be. Oh, beautiful. Merry Christmas. Thanks, Lori. We really appreciate it. Alright, let's check out the ornament. It's going to go up on the tree. Oh, cool. It's got moving parts and it's enameled. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow. That is
Really
really
like
cool.
those snowflakes.
Yeah.
And the star on the top there.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
fantastic.
how neat. Does it say something? I can't read.
No.
Oh, okay. It's just the
Yeah.
pattern.
I love that enamel. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Lori. And thank you for the M&Ms. I will eat them. It's on the tree. I can't thank you guys enough for all this stuff. These are beautiful ornaments, and it's so neat to have a complete handmade tree. It's really amazing.
Yeah, so we have them for all the years.
Yep.
They fit on the tree.
Just barely.
Yeah. Like, okay, we may have to get another tree.
Yeah.
Spread things out.
Yep. Yeah, these are amazing. People have been coming over just to see our tree.
Just showing you all the options here, all the designs.
Is that fresh snacks?
Must be raining. There's raindrops on those boxes. That one's cute. Elephant with the water coming out. A nice wreath. And the kitty. Karen Hart made that. I have one that's bigger one that I got from her, and it's on my computer screen. There's that cool deer. Here's that awesome moon that's we found out is Kevin's face. Okay.
Yeah, here's the one I just pulled out of the pickle. There's a little trick. Brass brushes. A brass brush will shine up your copper really fast. So if you don't even want to do a polish, because some of this, if you wouldn't want to polish this, it would wipe out all the detail. Just hitting it with a brass brush, like here's the back. See how shiny it got? Really fast.
Yeah.
Yep, brass brushes. That's how I polished Danielle's snake ring. Show them. That's, if you buff a piece of jewelry like this, you'll wipe out all the detail. So I just used a brass brush. That's all I did with that. Same with this ring too. That was just brass brush. And that way you don't lose all your detail.
Those diamond eyes are cool. I never thought I would want a snake ring, but it's pretty cool.
It makes you edgy.
Yeah, it makes me edgy, like I said.
Alright, so now you know how to do this. If you guys have any questions or want to make a lot of stampings, just sit down and try it. You're going to get better with time. The more you do it over and over and over, you will find shortcuts and quick fixes to create more production. And this is, even if you don't sell stampings, if you're just trying to make stuff for a street fair or for a gallery, it's not the Rona. Being efficient is really helpful, and because I hear people who say it took them 20 minutes to make a stamping, 30 minutes, an hour, but it shouldn't take you that long. You got to think about what you're doing. Use small pieces of urethane. Do not try to hit it with a giant piece of urethane.
And aluminum forces are
are
huge.
great. Don't overheat it like I did. As you saw, it doesn't take much heat.
Yeah.
You could probably do it with a cigarette lighter, practically. So, anyway, guys, if you got any questions, seriously, I'm happy to help you. We'll answer anything. I'll even tell you, that's the reason I told you how much we're charging and how much we're making to do this, is so you get an idea of what's possible. Okay? Obviously, we haven't sold all these stampings yet. And who knows if they'll sell? I don't know. Maybe. But it's a good exercise just for the heck of it, just to learn how to be efficient with the tools you have. So, let me know how you guys turn out. Show me piles of stampings. Take it easy, guys.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.